Hello and welcome dear students to a series of grammar in use. In this video we are going to explore the reported speech. You are requested to get a pen and notepad ready so that you can take down the pointers and construct the sentences as we go along. Let us dive into it. Reported speech. First of all, we need to understand what do we mean by direct speech or reported speech. The words that people say are called direct speech. For example, if I'm speaking, this is my book, it is direct speech, my speech. But if you are going to listen to it and then go and say it or repeat it somewhere else, then my speech becomes the reported speech. Reported speech is often used to describe what someone said at an earlier point in time. Let us see the example that we have before us of reported speech. The main verb in reported speech is usually said. Now, outside the sentence, you have the word said, and looking at that, only then you decide whether the expression that is within the single double quotes or the speech marks are changeable or not. If the word is say or it is in present or future tense, then the internal say expression does not, the tense doesn't change at all. It is only when you have this word said outside, he said, she said, the teacher said, only then the rules to tenses apply. The reported verb is usually in a different tense from the direct speech. It's the key word. If you have this said outside, that means you have the permission to change the tenses in the speech marks. And that has got, when you are changing the tenses, that has got its own standard rules of changing tenses. For example, now over here someone said I am sick. This is direct speech with simple present tense. We're just observing the change of speech with simple present tense. Now if you are going to report it, you will mention the name of the person, Luke said, and then you will remove the speech marks and bring in the word that. Now I will change to he because Luke is a masculine a man. He. Feel becomes felt. Simple present becomes simple past. And the word sick remains sick only. Luke said that he felt sick. That is the part that was reported. Over here, this word that can be dropped. Even if you remove this, even then speech, reported speech will make sense. The removing of that word that is called ellipsis, which we will study later. And over here, only this use of change of tenses to be considered. If the main verb outside the expression is said, then the expression inside tense changes to its corresponding past. For example, simple present changes to simple past, present continuous changes to past continuous tense, present perfect changes to past perfect tense, and present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous tense. But suppose if you have the expression in simple past, then it will become past perfect tense. And if you have the expression in past continuous tense, it will become past perfect continuous tense. These are the rules to changing tenses in reported speech. Now let us proceed and see one such example. Your house is really beautiful. Someone said your house is really beautiful. She said our house was really beautiful. Now you can see that it has become simple past and that your became are. Your suit looks great. She said that my suit looked great. Your changed to my and looks became looked. Simple present tense changed to simple past tense. Let us proceed and see what do we have next. Let us see the construction. If Luke said, comma, inverted commas open, I feel sick, full stop, inverted commas close, this is direct speech. Now we need to change this and look at the structure at the same time. Luke remains as such, that's the person who's who has spoken, who said the direct speech. Said, that is as such, simple past of say. Now when we have the word said, we have the permission to change the tense that is in the expression. Now to remove the comma and inverted commas, we bring in the word that. It can be left out if you are using or if you are in a conversation, but in writing it is generally advised if you're writing for examination or marks, definitely include this connector. Then we have I or the pronoun. Now because you are not Luke, you are reporting Luke's expression, you need to replace this I with he. The subject of the direct speech becomes I becomes he. This was simple present tense, it becomes simple past tense, and the word sick remains as such. And that is how the reported speech is. Luke said that he felt sick. I hope that changing from direct speech to indirect speech or reported speech is understood. Let us proceed. Now we have certain expressions, for example, we have seen with said. Now, in case if you have the word tell or told in your expression, how do you change in the reported speech? In the reported speech, tell can also be used as the main verb. Instead of the word said, the word told is written. Then the word told will definitely have an object of the verb. It must be followed by an object which shows to someone to whom that was told. For example, I want to learn to drive. If this was a spoken, now to whom did this person say? To me, to her, etc. So if this expression is, for example, he said, I want to learn to drive. It will change as per the rule that we already know. He said, these punctuation marks and comma and quotation marks will go and add, that will be added. I will change to he. Simple present want will become wanted, and to learn to drive remains the same. He said he wanted to learn to drive. Now this we already know. We want to know how to change when the word tell or told is used. Let us see this example. He said to me. If he said to me is used, only then you can change said to me to told me. You cannot use told me over here at all. You cannot say he told he wanted to learn to drive. If he say he told, then this expression or the change of direct indirect speech is incorrect. You are allowed to use the word told me only when you have said to me or said to us, said to her, that outside. So that said to will change to told. I want to learn to drive. He said to me that he wanted to learn to drive. Only then the word told is permitted to be used in place of the phrase said to. He said that he wanted to learn to drive. He told me that he wanted to learn to drive. Tell must be followed by an object. I hope this is understood. Let us see the next example. The examples of the construction that we have just seen is exercised over here. She said to me, I am at the party. She told me. You can see that said to changed to told me that she was at the party. I am becomes she was. Now we have a little correction over here. He said to us. He said to us, I arrived late to the meeting. You say to the meeting when you want to mention or when you want to say when you want to consider the meeting point, you say to the meeting, or if you want to refer the meeting, you say for the meeting. So it is actually the meeting point. Arrived late to the meeting. How do we change this? He said to us will change to he told us. I will change to he. We already have arrive. Past tense arrived. Simple past. We already have simple past. And as per the rule, the simple past changes to past perfect. So, had arrived. He told us he had arrived late to the meeting remains as such. Now, as a challenge, the remaining four sentences are given to the students. Write the direct speech and then write the indirect speech. I told her that I went abroad last year. She told me that she had a very stressful job. They told us they bought a new house. That can also be left out over here. You can see they told us that they bought a new house. That is dropped. That is known as, grammatically it is known as ellipsis, dropping out to say any word, and even then the sentence is complete and it is correct. We told them that we didn't want it. We did not want it, or we didn't want it. Construct the direct speech as well as the indirect speech to practice the lesson that we have learned so far. Then we have certain common mistakes regarding say, tell, told, etc. He said that he had a fast car. This expression, this sentence is correct. He told me that he had a fast car. Told me is also correct because told must have an object of the verb. So it is correct. Now, these two expressions are incorrect. Let us analyze why. He said me. He said or he said to me is also wrong, because when the word said to is there, you have to replace it with told. He said me, it does not exist. Said cannot have an object. Alright. So it has to be said to me, only then it will be correct. And he told that he had a fast car. This is also incorrect. He told me that he had a fast car, only then will be correct. So he said that he had a fast car. He told me that he had a fast car. This is correct. With this, we have come to the end of the lesson. I hope that you liked it. If you liked it, click on like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for your kind attention.